Next up, let me take my guest, Martha Dean. I know this show goes way beyond Connecticut, so for those of you who are not living in Connecticut, you don't have the pleasure of being able to vote for Martha Dean. Probably of all the people that I intend to vote for in this election, my most enthusiastic vote will be for Martha Dean. I think she's probably the most interesting person or candidate that I met while I was running for U.S. Senate myself. So I'm it's very rare that I enthusiastically vote for somebody. Normally, it's the lesser of the two evils, but not in the case of Martha Dean. I'm really voting for somebody. I actually gave her a donation. I think I gave her a maximum donation to her campaign. I know that the election is coming up in a few weeks, so I certainly would urge people to vote for Martha, and she probably needs some money. So make a donation. I can't give her any more, but if anybody else can, it could be a close race. So we want to make sure, certainly as a business person in Connecticut, even more than a resident, it's really important that we turn this state around. And both this race and the governor's race are very important to me. I was born in the state of Connecticut. Hopefully I can die here. And if they don't tax and regulate me out of the state, I will. But anyway, let me bring on Martha Dean to talk a little bit about her candidacy and what she sees as the problem in the state of Connecticut and what she might do as Attorney General to help solve the problems. Because we have the Attorney General right now, of course, is Dick Blumenthal, who the one good thing about him running for Senate is that he won't be the Attorney General of this state much longer, and hopefully he won't be the senator. He's running against Linda McMahon, who was my opponent. I have invited Linda on the show. I think she will be on the show as well sometime between now and the election. I do intend to vote for Linda as well, in case there's any doubt out there. But anyway, let me say hello to Martha Dean. Martha, you there? Martha? Is Martha Dean on the line? I know she was there earlier. Are we having some kind of technical difficulty with my guest?
Yeah, somehow it was dropped.
Oh.
How are you?
Oh, hi, Martha. You're back.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know if you heard the introduction, but, go ahead and say hello to my audience. I said there's a lot of people listening from out of state, but I'm sure we got some people from Connecticut, so tell your story. Why should we vote for you?
I just want to congratulate you for your great radio show and for your terrific run for the U.S. Senate, Peter. You did a fantastic job, and you're not done, and I'm glad to hear that you're on the radio. So
thank you.
But yeah, Connecticut has truly become a state that is known for being radioactive to law-abiding business, and we are the only New England state with a net outflow of population. We've been voted a couple years in a row the most anti-business state in the country, and as having the worst attorney general in the country. So all of this, plus the highest energy rates in the country, the highest debt per capita, the highest number of state workers per capita. This is just, not an advertisement for Connecticut. We need to turn this around with bold strokes quickly.
Yeah, one of the things that I really like about Martha Dean is not only has she read the U.S. Constitution, but she actually understands it. Is there any way you can use the Constitution to try to free up the state of Connecticut from some of the unconstitutional laws and mandates coming out of Washington?
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. We just heard yesterday in the news here that I'm sure you read about it, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield jacking up their rates 47% because of the cost of complying with these Obamacare mandates. And I have pledged for many months now to join the 19 or 20 states that have sued under the 10th Amendment and Commerce Clause to challenge Obamacare's imposition of a mandate to buy insurance as an unconstitutional grab of power.
Yeah, where in the Constitution does it say that the federal government can require American citizens to purchase products sold by other American citizens?
Yeah, it doesn't. And I think the decision the other day with a federal judge in Florida allowing the case to go forward is a very good sign. So I think there's a judge in Michigan who said the opposite, but it looks like these states getting contraction. And I'm frankly delighted that our Attorney General did not join the suit because I'm concerned that whenever he gets involved with these issues that, we saw the game thrown in the same-sex marriage case. Certainly nobody wants to deny same-sex couples legal rights, but redefining marriage, our Attorney General really threw the game by not showing up for oral argument, sending another attorney who did not make the strongest arguments for the definition of marriage, traditional marriage, that have been made all around the country and successful elsewhere. So,
I think one of the biggest job destroyers in the state of Connecticut has been Richard Blumenthal. I think one of the reasons that businesses would refrain from moving to Connecticut, opening up offices and hiring people in Connecticut is because the Attorney General office is seen as a threat. Litigation is a cost, and if you're going to run a business, the cost of potential future litigation is a factor that is going to determine where businesses locate, whether they hire. I mean, what can you do to turn that situation around to let businesses know that the Attorney General's office is more their advocate than their adversary, so that we'll have companies that will come to this state and that the companies that are here will be confident enough that they can expand and hire more people?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we need to return common sense to the Attorney General's office in a way that allows law-abiding businesses and individuals to thrive. But I have pledged to end the frivolous lawsuits, end the sue first, ask questions later culture of the AG's office, end the trial by press release culture of the AG's office, and end the highly improper so-called revenue-raising function of the Attorney General's office. I mean, truly, under our separation of powers form of constitutional government, only a legislature can raise revenue. It's the action of a bank robber to say, put a gun to your head and say your money or your life will destroy you in the press if you don't pay us to let you get out of this lawsuit.
Do you know how many attorneys work in the Attorney General's office?
Yes, he has grossly increased the size of the office and the number of attorneys since the days of Joe Lieberman, and it's now approximately 200 attorneys and 300 people. There's a 36,000 case backlog. Joe Lieberman said 7,000 cases a year was too many. My Democratic opponent says Blumenthal brings 56,000 cases a year. There's a 36,000 case backlog, and we're going to immediately put teams of lawyers on these cases to identify the cases that can be simply withdrawn and thrown out because there are no facts or law to support them. Or then there's another group of cases that I earn a good living defending, and so do other lawyers, and we win these cases, and those are the cases over complex regulations where there's just a difference of opinion as to what these regulations
How many
mean.
lawyers were there when Dick Blumenthal first took office?
I don't recall, but I believe it was under 100. So,
well, is there any way that if you're the Attorney General, can you lay off some of these lawyers? Can we shrink that department so we don't have as many of them?
The state auditors came out with a report this summer that showed just gross waste and misuse of resources. So immediately we can cut costs just by tightening up the financial controls. But there is a huge number of cases.
I lost her. Is she on the air? I don't know what happened. We lost. We're having all these technical difficulties up there. I know we had a caller on too for Martha Dean, but I think Martha has skipped out here. Do we have her back? Hello. All right. Well, let me take the call. Maybe Martha is listening. Maybe we'll get her back on. But let me take John is calling from Torrington, Connecticut, on line 4, who had a question for Martha Dean. Go ahead, John.
Hello there, Peter. I wanted to ask Martha Dean, this is within her purview. I would just say, I practice medicine in Litchfield County, and we've been having quite a severe problem trying to recruit, physicians to the state, as well as retaining the people who are here. One of the main reasons is Physicians Practice magazine has listed Connecticut as in the bottom 5 of desirable places to establish a practice in the 50 states. We're in the bottom 5. One of the main reasons is our very skewed tort laws that very much favor abuse of the medical legal system. I wanted to ask her what she would do about that to help us out. Because
Martha, are you there? Martha?
Yeah, I heard the question, and one of the things that the Attorney General can do, and the caller is right, we need tort reform fast in Connecticut. And one of the things the Attorney General can do is put together a legislative agenda, end eminent domain abuse, but also for tort reform. And I will be a strong and vocal advocate for tort reform. My husband's from Australia. They don't have high costs of health care, and the reason is they don't have lawyers suing and getting these big awards. So it's a serious situation here. We need to turn it around quickly.
I don't completely disagree with the ability for victims to actually get their day in court. That is, actually what courts are for, is when there has been true negligence or something like that. But, however, I mean, we've definitely had this is skewed way over to one side. And one thing that seems to work in other countries is loser pays.
Yeah, that's right. And it actually works well in other countries and other areas, too. I do environmental law. But, hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
I think, well, we're there. Anyway, I think we're running out of time for this segment. So thanks for calling. And Martha, why don't you hang on over the break, and we'll continue this after the commercial.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Since the Peter Schiff Show was last on the air, the national debt added another $7.89 million. Luckily, Peter's intelligence is growing twice as fast.
That's incredible.
Welcome back to your source of sanity in an insane world. It's the Peter Schiff Show.
Welcome back, everybody, and we are talking to Martha Dean, a candidate for Attorney General here in the state of Connecticut. And as I said earlier, my favorite candidate on the ballot, the one who I am most enthusiastically voting for in November. Anyway, Martha, do you have any parting words for my audience?
Well, I would say I didn't take taxpayer money, Peter. $750,000 the legislature gives to me. I said, no, that's not right. I think it's unconstitutional to force people to pay for candidates who they don't support. It's just wrong. And so I'm not a millionaire, but I said no to the money and was yet still the highest vote getter of any Republican in any state or federal race in the primary in August, after some people spent up to $20 million and I spent $10,000 on radio, and we got it done with 10,000 more votes. So we're going to get this done. But right now I'm pulling into Manhattan, and I just want everyone to know we're driving by the Empire State Building, and we're truly looking at the shining city on the hill. We want America to be the beacon that it has been for the world, beacon of freedom and opportunity. We've got to get to work turning things around, and I'm going to do that as Attorney General, and I welcome everyone to join me.
Okay, great. Is Malcolm there with you?
He is.
My best to Malcolm.
We're going to the Monday night meeting here in New York of Reagan Republicans and conservatives.
All right, well, give them my regards. And so everybody knows, in fairness, I did invite Martha Dean's opponent in this race to be on the program with me. He has an open invitation. So far, he's turned me down. Anyway, I have a feeling that if he did come on, he'd have a bit of a difficult interview. But, you know, hey, I'm a fair guy. But obviously I am biased, and I make no attempt to hide that. But anyway,
well, I like your bias, Peter. So keep it up. Keep up the good fight.
I'm biased, but I'm honest about it, and my opinions are truthful and accurate. Anyway, thanks, Martha. The best of luck in the election, and enjoy your evening out there in New York with the Reaganites.
Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.